Hey guys, so I'm here today to give you a review of the CruzBike Vendetta. I've actually been riding the bike now for about 900 and a little over 900 miles. But before we get into that, I wanted to mention something. I'm actually in the process now of training for the Hotter Than Hell ride on August the 25th. So if you're going to be down there, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to get together. I have heard that the recumbents get to start ahead of everyone else, which I'm very thankful for, because riding with 13,000 upright bikes in the peloton just does not sound super fun to me. But anyway, I wanted to let you know that that's something I'm training for, and I'm planning on being down in Wichita Falls, Texas. And so that should be an interesting race. Anyway, here's my review of the CruzBike Vendetta. I've been riding it now since mid-May. So I'm on average, I typically average about 150 miles a week on the bike. I'm definitely still getting in shape, especially right now. I've been working a lot on the hill work, which is kind of a whole nother animal in its own. I knew I wanted to go with a recumbent bike, just for the elimination of the pain, the back pain and the seat pain. And one of the challenges I found in the research on recumbent bikes is because you've got that hard back seat that you're pressing against, you can actually put quite a bit of pressure in through your knees, pushing on the pedals. And the challenge there is, what I was worried about was putting too much pressure on my knees and doing more damage, since I knew that was, for me personally, that was kind of a weak spot. And what I liked about the CruzBike was that movable front bracket. You still had that kind of built-in protection. You can only put so much force into that pedal, and that's essentially built-in protection for your knees. From a riding standpoint, the Vendetta, it took me two pretty horrible rides, and they were horrible in the fact that you just feel like you're fighting the bike the whole time. And I think that's kind of your brain rewiring itself, because the third ride was amazingly, it was amazing how much easier the bike was to ride. And I think a lot of it, what I found was, if I would just stop thinking, the bike would go a lot straighter and ride a lot smoother. It was when I was trying to think my way through how to make the bike go straight, that's when it would get wobbly. But for me, it was really more of just that, I think just that time to get to ride it a couple of times, think about it, start to internalize how it's working and how it's behaving. And then that's when it seemed to really kind of click and get much easier. Now it's like no problem at all. At first I would, that first 100 miles, I would have to start out sitting up, riding, kind of get it to feel right before I start laying back. Now when I hop on it, I start pedaling and I lay back immediately and just start going. And I just don't even think about it. My biggest problem with learning to ride the bike is I was learning to use clipless pedals at the same time. And I think in retrospect, I should have held off on the clipless pedals for at least the first 50 to 100 miles until I got really comfortable with the bike. So for me, I think you guys, I think you saw some of the training videos where I was falling, and almost in every case, it was where I was going very slow and I was having trouble clipping out of the pedals. And there's really, no matter what bike you're on, that's going to be a problem for you. So that has actually, that has been the primary reason. If I fall on the bike, that's the primary reason I fall. So the only other times I've fallen down, and it's only been twice, is if my front tire has gone flat or a little bit low. One time I got a pinch flat, and that's before I went to the tubeless tires. And when you get a pinch flat on, or at least the tires I was running, I got a pinch flat and went flat almost immediately, and I went down. The other time my tire was low, it was about half, it was running closer to 30 to 40 pounds of pressure in it. And I was fine going the straightaway. In fact, I didn't even realize it was low. It's when I went around the corner, the tire is, at that point, it's very gushy and it kind of gives away, and actually I fell down that time as well. So that's kind of the review of mine on the CruzBike Vendetta. I'm loving it. It has eliminated almost all the pain I've had. The only challenge I've had was with my neck on really rough roads. But once I started playing around with it and figured out I just needed a little additional neck support, that actually has been eliminated as well. And I would say, other than being physically exhausted after riding, once I stop riding, and there's no residual pain other than just muscles being sore from the exercise. But there's been no pain in my back or other areas or my neck. And it's I would say it's a great way to get in shape, and it's been a lot of fun. So as far as the hill climbing, I think a lot of that is the bike does climb very well, and I know from experience from yesterday's ride that it is definitely working. You're definitely getting some benefit of your full body pulling with the arms and using that. You're getting a lot of benefit from that going up hills, because I can feel it in my sides and then also in my arms and my legs. Like I said, if you are going to be at the Hotter Than Hell run, love to talk to you, love to hear some of your experiences on the cruise bike or the Vendetta, or whatever cruise bike you're riding in that race. Anyway, this will be my first 100 mile, and it's going to be an interesting, I have a feeling it's going to be a very interesting ride, especially given how many people are there. So anyway, I look forward to meeting you if you're going to be there, and I hope you guys enjoy the review. Thanks.